Ever wondered how a young man from a small kingdom in Macedonia could conquer vast territories, all the way to India? This young man was none other than Alexander the Great, a name that echoes through time as a symbol of ambition, courage, and military genius. Born into royalty, Alexander was tutored by the renowned philosopher Aristotle, nourishing his mind with the wellsprings of knowledge and wisdom. But it wasn't all philosophy and poetry for this young prince. His father, King Philip, instilled in him the art of war, kindling the spark of Alexander's military prowess. When Alexander ascended to the throne, his ambition knew no bounds. His first military exploits were a testament to his strategic brilliance as he swiftly subdued rebellions and expanded his kingdom. Yet, these early victories only whetted his appetite for conquest. But this was just the beginning. Alexander had his eyes set on the vast Persian Empire. How did a young king with a relatively small army manage to topple the mighty Persian Empire? It was a combination of Alexander's strategic brilliance and his ability to exploit the potency of his Macedonian phalanx. Let's dive into the Battle of Issus, for instance. Here, Alexander outmaneuvered the Persian forces, using the terrain to his advantage and turning the Persian numerical superiority into a disadvantage. He capitalized on the confusion, leading his companion cavalry in a charge that routed the Persian army and led to a resounding victory. Then came the siege of Tyre, a coastal stronghold that seemed impregnable. But Alexander, undeterred, built a causeway to the island city, turning the sea battle into a land one. His innovation and persistence eventually led to the city's downfall. These instances highlight Alexander's military prowess and his knack for turning situations to his advantage. In just a few years, the Persian Empire was no more, and Alexander's empire stretched from Greece to Egypt and Persia. Why stop at Persia? What drove Alexander to continue his conquest to the very edge of the known world? The answer lies in Alexander's insatiable thirst for glory and his burning desire to reach the ends of the world. His journey to the east was marked by the campaign in India, a land of exotic riches and formidable warriors. India posed a unique challenge to Alexander. The terrain was unfamiliar, the monsoons unpredictable, and the elephants a formidable adversary on the battlefield. Yet, Alexander's will did not waver. He pushed his men, he pushed himself, all in the pursuit of his grand ambition. But even the strongest will has its limits. The hardships of the campaign, coupled with the homesickness of his men, eventually led to a mutiny. Alexander was forced to turn back, leaving the unconquered lands behind. Despite his troops' reluctance, Alexander had conquered most of the known world, creating one of the largest empires in history. So, what made Alexander such a successful conqueror? The answer lies in his unique and innovative strategies. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Alexander the Great didn't rely on a single tried-and-true method of warfare. Instead, he was constantly adapting, evolving, and innovating. This ability to tailor his approach based on the situation at hand was a significant reason for his unprecedented success. One of Alexander's most notable strategies was his use of speed and surprise. He often moved his army much faster than his enemies expected, catching them off guard and disrupting their preparations. This tactic allowed him to win many battles before they had even begun, a testament to his strategic prowess. But speed and surprise weren't his only weapons. Alexander was a master at adapting his tactics to different enemies and terrains. Whether he was fighting in the flatlands of Persia or the rugged mountains of Afghanistan, he knew how to use the environment to his advantage. He would study his enemies, understand their strengths and weaknesses, and then devise a strategy that would exploit those weaknesses to the fullest. Beyond his tactical acumen, Alexander was a leader of exceptional caliber. His charisma, courage, and personal involvement in battles inspired his troops, fostering a sense of loyalty and camaraderie that was instrumental in his victories. He led from the front, often putting himself in harm's way, which only deepened his soldiers' respect and devotion. Finally, Alexander's policy of fusion between Macedonians and locals was a masterstroke. He encouraged marriages between his soldiers and local women, adopted local customs, and even dressed in local attire. This strategy not only helped to maintain peace in the conquered regions, but it also facilitated the spread of Greek culture, leading to what we now know as the Hellenistic period. Alexander the Great was not just a conqueror, he was a military genius whose strategies are still studied today. He didn't just conquer the world, he changed it forever.